Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to my back porch yoga studio for the morning. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining me for the 21st day of our routine and ritual yoga challenge here with Daily Ritual. Today, my focus is going to be more kind of a conversation about choosing self-love. And I was kind of debating. I have a couple topics for this challenge that I was going back and forth of which one to choose for today. And I just woke up with this knowing of okay, yeah, today's like the self-love talk. And it's such a beautiful day here in Maui. It's full moon, so there's the setting moon and the rising sun, and it just feels like a good day to celebrate. Just celebrate whatever the energy of the day. So my inspiration for choosing this topic stems back from my original training in classical hatha yoga, and I talk about this all the time in my classes, and so I just want to kind of reinforce it here. But during my teacher training over in India, I had my teacher, his name was Yogi Ram, and this is a guy born and raised in India, and he was so cute. He would always say okay, all of the students, especially the Westerners that came to the ashram, he would say, if you leave with anything from this month-long immersion, I want you to know that yoga is so much more than just a fancy posture, fancy poses, right? And there's these 5 points of yoga that you can really take home, because it's such an all-encompassing practice. And so those 5 points, the one I want to focus on today is positive thinking, and that kind of ties in beautifully with choosing self-love. So he would say, proper exercise in the form of asanas. That's one way that we can practice yoga. Positive thinking. Proper diet in the form of a vegetarian diet, because you're accumulating the least amount of karma. Proper relaxation in the form of either meditation or shavasana, because we're allowing all of the senses to completely relax at the same time. And the 5th one is proper breathing. So all 5 of these points practiced together is a path towards enlightenment, or towards yoking, yoga, to yoke our individual soul, Atman, with the collective soul of Brahman. So I always, from my training in India back in 2010, that was always something I pulled with me, going back to Wyoming, going back to Colorado, being like, how do I take this beautiful, all-encompassing practice of really connecting back to nature and make it tangible and accessible to, people like myself who would, before that training, had never been introduced to thoughts like this. And it was just such a beautiful, almost like a hug, of just feeling so connected to the world around me, so connected to all life around me, just by having, a new story to tell myself, and one I was never introduced to. So positive thinking is which one I want to focus on today. And I think that it's such an awareness practice to just become aware of the thoughts that we're thinking, and how specifically we're talking about ourselves in our minds, like that roommate that we have upstairs in our mind. How are we addressing ourselves? When we are critiqued about something we do at work, or when we maybe set goals for ourselves and working towards those goals. There's so many different times throughout the day that we can choose to either stay positive with our thoughts, or choose kind of self-destructing thoughts. And oftentimes, as I've kind of delved a little bit deeper into this practice, I can realize that sometimes those destructive thoughts are just old programs, old neural pathways in the brain that I'm not even aware of. It's water flowing in a stream. It's been flowing down this same stream for so long that it's just carved out this path. And so to redirect that water, to redirect our habits and our patterns, it takes time. It takes time to redirect that, and it takes awareness of ourselves, having these negative self-talk to ourselves. So for today, I want to bring, in the spirit of this challenge, just a real simple challenge of today. Just bring awareness. See if you can just like identify times throughout the day that maybe you slip into some negative self-talk, and without judging, without, that's the funny thing about this, this specific practice of positive and negative self-talk is like, if our intention is to shift and be a little bit nicer to ourselves about how we're addressing, our progress in life or whatever it is, if we identify that, oh, okay, now we're negative self-talk, it's so easy to be like, oh, damn it, Winsome, like, come on, like, stop beating yourself up, and you just go down this little like spiral rabbit hole. So if you identify that your thoughts are in fact, a little bit more negative, just bring conscious awareness to that. Take a deep breath and like redirect. Okay, so I want to read a little passage that I found today as a little bit of inspiration, and this is out of the Roots manual that John Friend and Desi Springer created, and I just love this little passage, so I want to share it with you guys today. And one of the alignment systems within, there's a bunch of different primal movements, bowspring alignment, different evolutions of our postural alignment that have kind of blossomed. And so the one specifically that John and Desi focus on is the roots. So I'm just bringing attention to that because it's in this first part of this quote. But it says, the alchemical process of the roots, or of our yoga practice, of our daily practice, shifts the mind and heart from self-destructive, negative thoughts and feelings of victimization to an empowered level of accountability in which one chooses the high road of life-enhancing, harmonious goodness for oneself and the world. So as we, choose positive self-talk for ourselves, I really do believe that we are filling ourselves up with a certain energy that then we are rippling out to the world around us. So it's just a beautiful practice to kind of bring into our day-to-day lives. Okay, so when I was thinking about this topic, I was actually in California with my mom, and so she was kind of my inspiration for this specific course, or this specific theme for today, because especially being a woman, we have this like tendency to go in front of the mirror if we're getting ready to like go out or with our friends or whatever, and like see ourselves in the mirror, and we immediately start like, oh, my hair is to this, oh, my skin is to this, my pimples are this, my could be better here, could be better, could be skinnier, could be, and that's like so harsh, and there's so many mirrors in front of us all the time. And so I had this beautiful little session with my mom, and my mom, she just had her 60th birthday, and she's such a bombshell. She's such a beautiful person inside and out. And when we're standing side by side with each other in the mirror, getting ready to like go to farmer's market or something, she started just like kind of, oh, I'm 60, I look like this, and so we had this really cool little like connection, like mother-daughter connection. And I was like, this is such a simple thing that we can incorporate in our day. And so I want to share this with you guys today. You can pause this little recording if you'd like, maybe go find a mirror, because instead of having a mirror be this thing that we like see ourselves, and we identify all the flaws or identify all the things that are not right with us, like use a mirror as a tool to tune in with your alignment, or to use it as an opportunity to cultivate self-love for yourself each time you see a mirror. So this is going to be real quick, but if you find yourself in front of a mirror, maybe in the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, or wherever you happen to pass by in a mirror, there's a couple of things that I think are really helpful in just enhancing our alignment, or realizing, identifying like maybe slight imbalances. And oftentimes for myself, if I'm like having a stressed out day or have a lot on my plate, my shoulders will like sneak up into my ears. And in a lot of the movement classes that we have here on Daily Ritual, we're always cueing like shoulders down away from the ears, belly nice and long, chin away from the chest. And why we do this is because we're opening ourselves up. It's a very vulnerable space, but yet it's also a very empowering posture. Really allowing like the energy to flow across the myofascial sheath in our body, you know, really showing up for whatever it is that's coming our way with an intention, with an attitudinal intention to like cultivate as much mana, we'll talk about that here in a minute, as much like life force energy, as much chi as we can in this like intentional loving way for ourselves. You know, we're filling ourselves up, we're holding accountability for our bodies in space so that we can get lots of oxygen flowing to our brain and our organs, so that we can really like you know, our whole system can work as good as we can. And when we hold on to tightness, when we hold on to negative thoughts, when we hold on to stress, we almost start to like calcify into this like tight shape, and energy has a harder time flowing across the body. And you can feel it, right? Sometimes if we're just like stressed out, we hold that in our bodies, and then, oh man, my neck is sore, my shoulders are all tight. So if you're in front of a mirror, this is a really just super simple thing that you can practice. First, you can take the hands in seed hands, soften the fingers around the thumbs, and reach out so your thumb is like a little magic wand, extending out. So seed hands, close the fingers around, almost hollowing out like you're holding a little butterfly here. Inhale, reach the arms out and take the elbows wide. So instead of the elbows coming in, take the elbows wide to hollow out the armpits, and just reach the arms, become as big as you can, this like power pose. If you're standing, maybe take the feet about hip width distance apart. Take a deep breath, soften the shoulders down away from the ears, reach out through the thumbs. Relax the muscles of the face, and maybe even meet yourself with a gentle smile. From here, just invite a few tick-tocks, reaching from side to side. Allow the breath to guide your movement, softening the ear down towards the shoulder, reaching space across the ribs, filling in the backside of the heart. And here, using the mirror as a tool, noticing if I'm shifting, are my shoulders crunched up? Does my face get all tight? If I'm reaching into a space that might be a little tighter, and just soften. Only go as far as you can. Keep that smile. Good. So reaching wide across the collarbones, filling in that space back behind the heart. Chins away from the chest. And then we're going to take the hands just behind the head. Good. Here, use the mirror as a tool here to make sure that you're not closing off the backside of the heart. So a couple of things happen, and I'm going over this pose because we practice it a lot here in Daily Ritual. All the teachers, you'll hear us cue, just to like open up the belly. Hands come back behind the head. Head's gonna push into your hands slightly to soften the muscles of the front of the throat. Good. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Chins away from the chest, but keep your eyes at the horizon, or keep your eyes meeting your eyes in the mirror. Good. Draw the elbows so they're in line with the shoulders, not wide, because then we're closing off the backside of the heart. Good. Head pushes back into the hands slightly, and then from here, you can just practice a couple pulses from side to side. So elbows are in line with the shoulders, head pushing back, and then we're just gonna shift the ribs. Good, from side to side. As I shift to the left, soften the left ear into the left hand. Reach up through the elbows. Good. Take the elbows, take the arms wide, reach up. And then when you soften your arms back down, keep that fullness, keep that integrity that you just cultivated here in your stretch. And then just practice bringing that with you. And then anytime you start to feel that tightness or tension kind of creeping in, or your posture start to feel a little turtle-like going back down into the shell, like this is always an option. Open back up. Meet it with a nice flow. Okay, so today I challenge you guys to cultivate self-love. Every time you look in the mirror, you know, every time your reflection, meet your reflection, whether you're passing a window street or, you know, any way that you kind of see yourself, just use it as an opportunity to choose self-love for yourself, because you deserve it. I want to end with, I pulled a card today from this beautiful deck, the Mana cards, the power of the Hawaiian wisdom, and I pulled card Mana. I mentioned this earlier, is that Mana is, in Hawaii, they kind of refer to it as this life force energy that flows through all living things. And so I just want to read you a little passage about this today, so you can take a little bit more inspiration with you on your Thursday. Okay, so Mana. The chant associated with this card is Mana. There is mana in the flower that has blossomed slowly. Teaching, mana is the energy that flows through the universe, energy that is essential for life. Mana is the force that is neither good nor evil. Like energy, it just is. Also like energy, mana can be used to create order or chaos. So right, like just in our thoughts, like choosing positive self-thoughts over negative is really like choosing, you know, harmony or chaos in our life. And our thoughts, you know, negative thoughts take our energy away. Positive thoughts like fill us up with energy. Okay, so the interpretation, this is really sweet. And it's really inspired me for today, so I hope it does the same for you guys. Interpretation. Personal power comes to those who develop their talents with patience and time. Empowered individuals seem to have a magical ability to make things happen. Westerners refer to this seemingly natural confidence and ability as charisma. Like mana, charisma is the power to lead or inspire others by manifesting an energy that makes an individual irresistible. Many people believe that you have to be born with charisma, but everyone has the potential to gain charisma by increasing their mana. Breathing meditation is one secret to increasing mana. Breathing meditation leads to the calmness of the mind and enables one to be clear about how to make the best use of life energy. When your mind is calm, you are able to perceive how the thoughts and actions of yourself and others affect your energy and experience. Mana flows through you. Mana flows when you move in harmony with the universe. Calmness of body and clearness of vision allow you to tap into the universal supply of mana. When you tap into the power of the universe through your breath, you open yourself up to be filled with mana. As mana empowers, enchants, flows, and radiates, so can you. Thank you guys for joining me for this little conversation piece on choosing self-love. Share in the comments of ways that you guys cultivate self-love, and I just hope you guys have such a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us on here. Look forward to tuning in with you guys next week for the last session, and yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. Aloha.